Hey guys, this is Miko from MO Sound Lab, and today we'll be comparing two guitars. One of them is the PRS 594 SC model, which is the single cut, essentially the PRS Les Paul that supposedly sounds just like a vintage 59 Les Paul, so they say on YouTube. Comparing that to my Les Paul Standard by Gibson, which has the Bucker Pro pickups and the coil splits and everything like that, the things that people frowned upon, but I think they sound great. There are some differences in these guitars that I need to point out. First of all, in this comparison, the PRS will have thicker strings, it will have a thicker neck, and it's overall a lot more heavy of a guitar, while the Gibson that I have has the slim taper neck. And nines, I have nines on the Les Paul. I use strings as thin as possible because I feel like they just sound better. Also, the neck on my Gibson is one of those snap necks. If you're familiar with Gibson Les Pauls, it's very common to have the neck snap right at the headstock. That has happened and it's been fixed and glued and it's perfect now. Some say that it sounds better when this happens, like Kirk Hammett, I think. He said that all the best Gibson Les Pauls that he has have had the neck split kind of snapped at some point and then fixed, and then they sound great. Also, his most famous Gibson Les Paul has this, the vintage, rare, super expensive one. Okay, that's enough talk. Let's compare these guitars. I'll be using my Friedman B100 Deluxe for this demo. I'll try and play the same exact riffs, the same exact way, and just give you a sound sample and then maybe some opinions in the end. Okay, what do you think? Please leave a comment down below. We can discuss this further. This will definitely be a little bit more subjective than some of the comparisons I usually do, because the look of the guitar and brand loyalty and stuff like that plays a huge part. About the brand loyalty thing, if you know me at all, you know that I love PRS guitars. I play mostly PRS guitars, so I was actually really looking forward to this 594 SC demo, because I've been wanting this guitar for a long time, and you know, Gibson has its own problems and many people think that they're not that well built. The Gibson that I have is actually really well built. I know it's a 2014 model, so many consider that to be a bad era, but there are no problems in the guitar and it sounds awesome. The finish is really nice, the color, the burst, everything is really nice on that guitar. I have never had any issues with that particular guitar. I do have some issues with some Les Pauls that I've had, but you know, that's a different story. If we just talk about the tone, however, I feel like on the PRS I had way more sustain. That could be many things. I mean, the parts are premium on a PRS, and you know, buying one of these PRS SC594s is actually twice as expensive as getting the Gibson Les Paul standard right now. So is it twice as good, or is it even better? That's all subjective in many ways. I would say that for me personally, having the thinner neck on the Gibson was the reason why I personally prefer to play the Gibson more. I mean, we are paying almost twice the money for the PRS. Tone-wise, they really are not that far from each other. If you ask me, playing-wise, I would say the really fat neck on the PRS was kind of uncomfortable for me. I feel like if I was playing like a gig or something, I would get tired really fast with my left hand. While in comparison to the Gibson, you know, it's more comfortable with the 60s slim taper neck. These are all subjective things, and you know, these are opinions. I feel maybe you had a little bit more sustain on the PRS. Could be the, you know, combination of that thick neck, or maybe it's just the parts that are touching the strings that are better material, premium material. No idea what the reason is, but anyways, both of these guitars are awesome. These are great, and I think I will not be purchasing the 594 because I already have the Gibson standard. I think out of these two guitars, I prefer the Les Paul standard, the Gibson one, but it is most likely just because the neck is more comfortable to my hand. I would choose to have comfort over sustain, if that's the comparison we're having here. Okay, enough jabbling, drabbling. It's time to end this video. Leave your comments down below and let's discuss. Boom, bye bye.